And warnings in effect pretty much across the upper Midwest. You can see here in Minnesota a wind chill warning for most of the western half of the state and a little bit to the northwest as well. St. Cloud, Brainerd, Bemidji, Alexandria, Montevideo, 25 to 35 below in many of those cities this morning. Park Rapids has the worst of it right now. 44 below is what it feels like there. 40 below in Wilmer. 30 below here in the Twin Cities. So a good thing that there aren't going to be too many kids waiting out at bus stops this morning. We did get a lot of snow too. Here's some of the totals kind of around the metro. 6.3 officially in the Twin Cities, but many spots with more than that. 7.5 in Lakeville, 7 in Burnsville, and 8.5 in Chanhassen. Through the day today, really not much relief. 1 below is our high, and it never even feels that warm. Looking at like wind chills around 20 below this afternoon. Winds are lighter tomorrow. We get to 10 and then near 20 on Sunday with a couple of snow showers. But after all that snow, roads are still a mess this morning. Allie's been keeping an eye on them all morning long. How are they looking now, Allie?
Still really rough out there, Matt. As you can see, this is a look at your drive along 494 southbound right at 49th Avenue. And you can see we've got a couple of cars in the ditch for northbound drivers. Looks like that might have been even from last night with all that snow coming down yesterday during the day. Here is your drive in Eagan, 77 northbound right at Cliff Road. You can see a lot of congestion in this area. And then 94 westbound has been brutal. Really from Woodbury all the way into downtown St. Paul. We have a crash blocking the right shoulder there. Expect at least a 15 to 20 minute delay. Highway 55, we have seen spinouts, and you can see snow covered intersections causing problems for drivers. That is largely due because we've got ice underneath that snow causing some of those spinouts. Drive times too, Highway 100, 25 minutes it's going to take you to get from 694 to 394. And then this is your overall map right now, and Matt, as you can see, still a lot of red there. Yeah, what a mess. I mean, this after yesterday where there were so many crashes and spinouts across the state. At least 562 crashes, 788 spinouts, another 37 jackknife semi-trucks. 39 people were hurt. One of those was serious, and I bumped into another car on my way to pick up the kids from daycare, cracked my bumper. Sorry, Ryan, his car was fine. DNR keeps track of Minnesota winters using something called the Winter Misery Index, and they say this winter is not bad. It's mild by their measure. They award misery points for cold and snow. But I feel like we need some multiplier for proximity of events, right? In the last 2 weeks, we'd have 10 inches of snow. In the last 3 days, we've had 10 inches of snow. There was an ice storm on Monday with the extreme cold this morning, and then again last week. So I want to know, are you sick of it? Because frankly, I have had enough of shoveling, enough of walking the dog in knee-deep snow, wrestling the kids in the snow pants and mittens and heavy coats, and they are fighting me every step of the way. I am exhausted. But maybe you love winter. Maybe this is perfect. Winter in Minnesota. This is what you're here for. If you're watching on Facebook, leave a comment. On Twitter, go ahead and do the same. We'll read through a few of those coming up in just a moment. Well, with so many school closings, the cco.com/closings page, pretty popular click this morning. Another snow day for lots of kids in Minnesota and Wisconsin, including Minneapolis and St. Paul, closed today. Yesterday, Mankato was one of many towns under a blizzard warning. This is what it looked like there. Wow. Northwest of there, roads in Renville County were so bad that Governor Tim Walz declared a peacetime state of emergency and ordered the National Guard to help stranded drivers. You're also going to want to be careful where you park. There are snow emergencies today in Minneapolis and St. Paul. If you're not sure which side of the street do I need to be on, you can call 266-PLOW in St. Paul or 348-SNOW in Minneapolis. And you're going to want to check this out. Renee in New Brighton sent us this photo. Plows hadn't gotten to the right spot yet. I think we're going to have the photo here. We'll get to it in a minute. So plows hadn't come through yet. Neighborhood was sick of it. So neighborhood got out and formed a fleet of snowblowers. We'll do it ourselves. Kind of love that spirit of everybody working together to make sure the cars could get through. We've seen a lot of cool snow pictures over the last day. This one, classic patio pic from Greg. No snow deficit in Lyon County, Marshall, down that direction. They've been getting slammed with snow these last couple of days. This is exactly what my garbage can looks like. Domesday, conical crash, says Susie. And yeah, I mean, good luck to all those trash haulers and people picking up recycling, trying to get to those today.
Mo says, Goofy, when does spring come? I hope the dog's name is Goofy and he's just not commenting on our weather. And then a final one, this is rude. Lori, dreaming of summertime. Nobody wants to see this right now. We just need to get through this. Okay, now to a story that a lot of people have been reading on WCCO.com. The man caught on video shooting a school bus driver is going to be in court today. Kenneth Lilly faces attempted murder charges. This happened on Tuesday along I-94 and 35W in Minneapolis.
We do not believe there was a self-defense claim based upon the evidence we have received so far. The words to describe what went on here, it is just horrific.
This is just so scary. There was an 8-year-old girl in the back of the bus at the time. Thankfully, she wasn't hurt, and the driver is okay, but the bullet grazed his head. Okay, now to a pretty tough story. An up-and-coming St. Paul chef and a young father has died after battling the flu. 32-year-old Kyle Bell worked as the executive chef at Four Paws in St. Paul. Went home sick last Friday. When his wife tried to wake him up later that day, he didn't move. Leaves behind 2 young children, a 3-year-old and a 3-month-old. Bell's colleagues are planning a fundraiser soon. If you'd like to help as well, we do have a link to their GoFundMe page on WCCO.com. A shocking letter from Amazon's Jeff Bezos. He says the publisher of the National Enquirer tried to blackmail him. This started after the tabloid published text between Bezos and his mistress. Bezos started an investigation into how they got those texts, which the Enquirer apparently didn't like. Bezos says the tabloid threatened to post intimate pictures if he didn't back off, so he just posted the email from the Enquirer, exposing what he says was an attempt by the publisher of the Enquirer, whose last name happens to be David Pecker. The New York Times had some fun with this. Excuse me, New York Post, New York Times is way above this sort of thing. Come on, that's pretty good. Okay, Wells Fargo's website and app are back up and working again. Customers were complaining online for most of yesterday when they couldn't sign in. Bank said it was experiencing system issues due to a power shutdown at a facility. Company apologized and said if you get hit with a late fee or some other sort of charge because of the outage, they are going to reverse those. Apple's fixed a FaceTime flaw that allowed people to eavesdrop on other users. A new iPhone update resolved it. Apple turned off the group chat feature last week after the problem was discovered by a 14-year-old and then went viral on social media. Our commander-in-chief is headed to the doctor today. President Donald Trump is going to have his second annual medical checkup as president. This year's exam will be overseen by a new physician. Last year, his personal physician declared him to be in, quote, excellent health with, quote, incredibly good genes. All right, back to today's talker. Have you had enough? I mean, the first half of this winter was mild, it was easy, and then it seems like we've had the entire season's wrath in 2 weeks. I'm worn out, I'm tired, I'm cranky. Our digital guy Cole is here. He's always chipper.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, are people on my side or are you getting a lot of this is winter in Minnesota?
We're getting a lot of people on your side.
Hey!
For a change.
How about that?
All right, we got Jason DeRusha saying, are we enjoying this weather? Negative 30 wind chill. I'm a hard nope.
Yeah, this is not great. I just got something on Twitter from Daniel. Short memories, 2013, 2014 winter was definitely worse. More snow, colder, longer duration. And then we've got more snow on Tuesday of next week. I mean, it's true. I'm not saying this is the worst ever. Yeah. I'm just saying these last 2 weeks have been awful. Yeah. And I'm tired, man. What else you got?
We have Shannon saying, this is stupid. Do something about it or we'll take back your National Weather Person Day.
You know, all I got was half a Nutella donut, so go ahead. You can have that one back.
And then we have Steve with probably the best comment. I've had enough of the weather, but not enough of the mix of information and entertainment on the 734.
Steve, thank you. Your check is in the mail. That is it for the 734 from WCCO, when most of the Twin Cities are on the go. If you haven't already made us a habit, go ahead and do that. We're your home for mobile news, and we'll see you back here on Monday at 7:34. Until then, be nice to each other on the internet.